My daughter-in-law forged my name on a deed. My father's building, the one he left me in 1987. She put it in her name and signed a demolition deal while I was still grieving my wife. Found out by accident. A delinquency notice in the mail. Wrong account name. 3 payments behind on a loan I never took. She'd been calling me dad for 6 years. Every dinner. Every holiday. Every time she needed something. Dad this, dad that. The whole time, she was measuring that building for someone else. Should have known something was off. Probably did know, somewhere. Didn't want to look at it too closely. Big difference between not knowing and not wanting to know. She didn't get the building. But I'm getting ahead of myself. If you've ever had someone use your trust against you, you already know where this story goes. Stick around, and if Familix's revenge is new to you, subscribe. You'll want to be here for this one. 31 years I spent fixing other people's clocks. Watches mostly. The kind people bring in because their grandfather left it to them, and they can't bear to throw it away, even if it hasn't run in 20 years. I understood that completely. My shop was behind the house on Carver Street, same building my father worked out of before me. Wasn't a plan, just what happens when you grow up watching someone do something with their hands every single day. The building itself wasn't much to look at. Wood frame, single story. Smelled like machine oil and the kind of dust that settles in places where people concentrate. A shelf with 6 clocks on it, none of them synchronized. People asked about that sometimes. Never had a good answer. Just liked them that way. Each one running its own time. My father gave me his 1962 Omega Seamaster the first morning I left home. Keep this till you come back, he said. He died in 1987, same year he signed the building over to me. Still wear the watch every day. Never explained that to anyone. Some things you just keep doing. Daniel brought Claire home about 6 years back. She was organized, capable, warm in the way that fills a room. Learned my coffee order in the first week. Started calling me Dad within the month. Not Leonard, not Mr. Marsh, just Dad. Told myself it felt natural. Told myself that for 6 years. She came to every dinner, brought my favorite wine, asked about the shop like she meant it. I'm a watchmaker. Supposed to hear when something's running wrong before it becomes a problem. Didn't hear it. Or heard it and told myself it was something else. Still not sure which of those is worse. The delinquency notice came on a Tuesday, wrong account name. 3 payments behind on a 34,000 equipment loan I never took. Read it twice, set it on the counter, and made eggs. Don't know why I made eggs first. Just wasn't ready to know what it meant yet. Called the bank from the kitchen. The loan officer read me the file. Equipment loan opened in March, deed transfer same month, property on Carver Street listed as collateral. Grantor Leonard Marsh. Grantee Claire Marsh. Notarized. Asked who notarized it, wrote the name down, hung up without saying thank you. Drove to the county records office, because I've never trusted doing things online, and the clerk pulled the deed in about 4 minutes. My signature was on the grantor line. It looked like my signature, the way a signature looks when someone studied it long enough. Paid for the copy. Folded it once. Put it in my shirt pocket, over my chest, and walked back to my truck. On the way home I passed Roy Callahan out by his mailbox. 71 years old, my neighbor 20+ years, never once volunteered information about anything that wasn't his direct business. Asked about the man with the measuring tape he'd mentioned seeing back in spring. Roy said, March maybe. Asked if he knew what they were measuring for. He said he didn't. Then he looked at me, the way people look when they know something's wrong, and they've decided not to be the one who says it out loud. You doing work on the place? No, I said. He nodded. Drove home. 3 days I didn't call anyone. Went to the workshop every morning the same as always. Picked up a clock. Held it, put it back down. Ate dinner. Sat in front of the television, not watching it, just sitting there. Thought about calling Daniel maybe a dozen times. Picked up the phone twice. Set it back down both times without dialing. Didn't know how to start that sentence. The thing that kept coming back wasn't anger, exactly. It was this: she called me Dad every single time. 300-something dinners, every holiday. Every time she needed something. And I believed it. Every single time. Part of me still wanted it to mean something. That part made me angrier than the deed did. Third night late, sitting at my father's bench with the Omega in my hand. Not wearing it. just holding it. My father built something and left it to me. Set the watch down, looked at it a long time, then picked up the phone and called Patricia Hale. Patricia Hale's office smelled like old paper and coffee that had been sitting too long. Put the deed on her desk, then the bank letter beside it. She read both without saying anything. Full minute of silence then. "This signature, is it yours?" Said it looked like mine. "That's different from no," she said. She didn't soften it. Didn't need to. She asked if I'd called Daniel before coming to see her. Said yes. She set her pen down. That was a mistake. Didn't argue. Knew it the minute Daniel cut the call. Not angry, just gone, 2 seconds flat. Claire knew I knew within 4 hours. Her first text came before I reached Patricia's office. Patricia moved on without making me feel worse about it. That was more grace than I deserved right then. Patricia pulled the assessor's name from the filing. Marcus Webb, Webb Property Development. Found his active project list in about 10 minutes. Boutique apartment conversions, small town acquisitions. One property listed as secured, Carver Street address. Closing date 6 weeks out. She said, 6 weeks twice. Once to confirm it. Once I think so I'd actually hear it. Something shifted then, 2019. Webb had come into the shop with his father's pocket watch. Hamilton Railroad grade, beautiful piece. Hadn't run in 30 years. Took 2 weeks to restore it. Webb came back personally to collect it. Said on his way out, "You ever think about selling this place? Location's good?" Said no without thinking about it. He nodded and left. Hadn't thought about it again, until that moment sitting across from Patricia. Patricia said to go see Webb directly before she filed anything. One question only. Did Claire tell him I agreed to sell? No speeches, no accusations, one question. Let his answer do the work. Said I didn't know if I could do that without saying more than I should. She looked at me over her glasses. "You fix watches. You already know how to be patient." Didn't have an answer for that. Drove to Webb's office. Webb's office was in a converted storefront on the main strip, the kind of place with a glass front and a receptionist desk, positioned to make you feel like you need an appointment to breathe. Walked in without one. Told the receptionist it was about the property on Carver Street. Told her to give Webb the name Leonard Marsh. She picked up the phone. Webb came out in under a minute. He recognized me. Could see it, a half-second adjustment in his face, the kind people make when they weren't expecting someone, and now they have to decide how to handle it. He said my first name, Leonard. Noticed that. Then said the building on Carver Street belonged to my father before it belonged to me. Webb said, "Miss Streeter, Marsh," and noticed that too. First name to last name in 4 seconds. Already creating distance. One question. Did Claire tell you I agreed to sell? He didn't answer right away. That pause was its own answer, but waited. Said she had represented the transfer as a family decision. Said that wasn't what I asked. Another silence. Then, she said you were ready to move on from the property. Looked at him. Opened my mouth. Almost said. She forged my signature. She used my grief. She stood at my father's bench and smiled at me. Almost said all of it. Patricia's voice in my head, one question. Closed my mouth. Let the silence do what silence does. Finally, I did not say that to anyone. That was enough. Webb suspended the deal on the spot. Said he'd need documentation, that the transfer was contested before he could proceed. Told him Patricia Hale's office would call him that afternoon. Turned to leave. He said, "Leonard." Asking for something, acknowledgement maybe, or absolution. Looked back once. Nodded. Walked out without saying thank you. No, I should have. Still don't know why I couldn't. By the time I got home, Claire had called twice. Then a text, "Dad. Marcus Webb just called Daniel." What did you do? One word I kept count of. Dad. Used it once in that sentence. Down from 3. Put the phone face down on the counter and went to the workshop. Picked up a client's clock. Worked for 3 hours. Fixed it. Texted Daniel on a Thursday. Sunday dinner, 6 o'clock, both of you. He replied, "Everything okay?" Said yes. That was the last lie I told in this whole thing. Small one necessary. Sunday came. They arrived together. Claire had a bottle of wine in her hand. My favorite, same as always. "Dade, it's so good to see you. We should." Took the bottle and set it on the counter without opening it. 3 folders on the dining table. She saw them. 1 second of stillness. That 1 second told me everything about what she already knew. "Sit down, Claire." Daniel started. "Dad, what is?" Sit down, Daniel. They sat, opened each folder in sequence, and set the documents in front of them without a word. Let them read. Claire recovered faster than expected. She always was quicker than the room. Leonard, I can explain. I did this for us, for Daniel. I was trying to. You were never going to do anything with it anyway. Her own words back to her flat. No anger in my voice, just the words. She stopped. Mouth still open, nothing coming out. The table went quiet. Then you used my father's tools. You stood at that bench and used his tools. And the whole time you were measuring it for someone else. Voice broke on the last part. Not tears, something harder than tears. She didn't answer that. Pushed Webb's statement across the table toward Daniel. Read page 2. He read it. Watched his face change the way a clock changes when a gear finally catches, subtle, then everything moving differently. Daniel looked up at Claire. You told me Dad wanted to sell. You said he told you he was ready to let it go. Claire started. Daniel, this is more complicated than. Did Dad tell you he wanted to sell the shop? Not a question. A line. Silence. Daniel stood up and walked to the kitchen. Claire and I sat at the table. Just us. This is going to destroy my marriage, she said. I didn't do that, Claire. She didn't respond. Got up and went to the kitchen. Daniel was at the counter, back to me. Gave him a minute. Did you know about the loan? What loan? Technically true. He turned around. I didn't know about the building. I want you to know that. I know. How? Because you're your mother's son. First time either of us had said Margaret in months. Neither of us followed it anywhere. I'm sorry, Dad. First time in his life, said directly, no buffer, no Claire in the middle. Yeah. Patricia called 3 weeks later with the summary. Deed challenge sustained. Transfer dismissed. Building reverted to Leonard Marsh. Webb had filed a separate misrepresentation complaint against Claire. She'd represented the transaction as mutually agreed to a third party, and that was Webb's problem with it, not mine. Equipment loan civil case filed. Claire sole responsible party. Daniel removed as co-signer through settlement. Wrote none of it down. Just listened. Daniel called 10 days after the dinner. Said he and Claire were separating. Didn't ask questions. Didn't feel like my place. Are you okay? I will be. Okay. Stayed on the phone another minute without talking. Then he said he'd come by Saturday. Said that was fine. He came. Didn't talk about Claire. Didn't talk about the building or the deed or any of it. The weather stripping on the workshop door had been peeling for 2 years. Kept meaning to replace it. Never did. Daniel noticed it. Asked if there was a spare roll. There was. Spent an hour on it. He left around noon. Ran my hand along the new strip after he drove off. Even seal. Should have done it 2 years ago. Webb and I passed each other at the hardware store about a month later. He nodded. Nodded back. Neither of us stopped. Patricia had mentioned it once. Webb helped you. Leonard. Said I knew. She let it go. Some things you know and still can't make yourself do. Working on it. Slowly. Before you go, if this one stayed with you, a like goes a long way. And if you're not subscribed to Familix's Revenge yet, now's a good time. More stories like this one every week, evening. Workshop. Same bench. Same light. Same 6 clocks on the shelf, running their own separate times. Picked up the Omega not to check the time, just to hold it. My father built something and left it to me. It's still here. Put the watch back on my wrist, buckled it, turned off the light, and locked the door. The 6 clocks kept running, each one on its own time, same as always.